All right, as we said, a best of 5 grand finals, but whoa! Oh, it's just a deep one. Never mind. Spawning on the bottom left side. Oh, he might actually be proxying. I don't know if TAiLS will know what that means. It is gonna be the orange Protoss, TAiLS.
I don't think he will. Oh, Jesus. In the top left, as the purple Terran, he's Beastyqt.
If you guys didn't see it, luckily SC2HL did do a highlight reel of this. Lily Canine, in our Ting qualifiers versus Wellmu, proxied Raxes on this map and managed to win through micro dedication and stubbornness. Now, I can't possibly recap that whole game for you. You simply have to see it. So, again, go look it up. You're going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. It was a very good game. Definitely back and forth, going down to just basically 1 or 2 units being microed against each other. I don't know if that's going to happen here. TAiLS, did he even try and scout? No, he didn't even try. If he tried, then the supply depot, like, you know, fakes out your probe and you're immediately notified that something is up. But even that would have been better than absolutely nothing. It's going to be 4 racks, all Marines, against a person who had to go a little bit greedy on the Nexus.
But here's why I think this is a really clever idea. For those who don't know, Stalkers do outrange Marines. You can run faster than them. You can kite them. We saw 2 Stalkers from Wellmu take on like 17 plus Marines. But the point of that is it requires a lot of good control and micro and no real latency issues. This is Korea to Europe for TAiLS, and that's not actually going to be a great situation for him to deal with.
Good point. This bunker is unscouted until the Nexus finishes, and it still has a ways to go, so he has no idea. Doesn't even see the SCVs in the Marine. And this is pretty bad.
Yeah, so this almost guarantees that the Nexus is going to go down, but the question is what else happens here in the main.
Well, the SCVs are going to help out here. There's not much that TAiLS can do. He just wasn't prepped for this. He has an Adept, but his Mothership Core has been held off on, basically. And I think now he realizes the severity of it. So this could have just been like an innocent push that looks weird, but it is definitely more than just, you know, a couple of racks rallying over from his main. It's 4 racks proxied.
Well, I actually don't think there's any way for TAiLS to win this.
I don't think so.
The thing about the Adepts that's kind of funny to consider, ignoring the fact that they deal less damage now. They don't outrange Marines. That's where Stalkers really came in handy. They could kite all day.
Yeah.
But Beasty, as he said, in honor of Lily Canine, was going to cheese his way in Arena and take a very nice game number 1. And I'm confident in calling this already because there's just no way he deals with these bunkers.
If the bunkers are in position of the main Nexus, it's usually game over.
I mean, he doesn't waste any time with the National because he doesn't need to. He knows it too.
GG. Yep.
So game 1 goes to Beasty. Not too shabby, but the question really does go: is it just cheese, or can he actually play this whole series? I mean, Beasty we know can play. That's like a bit of a, I guess, rhetorical question there, but we will see how this goes. Now, TAiLS, of course, will have map pick.
Yeah.
Little only advantage he has going for him.
Waiting to hear on that. Arena is a funky map that you can do that on. There are plenty of other basic maps. You will not have to worry about quite so severe of cheese.
Yeah. A lot of people in chat, by the way, saying, like, there's no way that's going to work. There's no way that was going to happen. Sometimes I really like having stream delay just because we can be like, no, you're so fucking wrong.
So once again, taking a while to choose his map. It's very serious.
Okay, well, we'll give him a moment to figure it out. It's worth noting, Detox is the only map in this map pool he wouldn't know. Central Protocol swapped out with it for a lot of our tournaments, but everything else is pretty standard. I'm pretty excited, by the way. We've got a tournament brewing that I can't tell you all about just yet, but it does involve using different maps that are the same. I can't really extrapolate more than that.
Way to go. That was basically the only way he was ever going to say it,
but I mean, we got some really cool stuff lined up. And when it comes to maps, there's the whole aspect of balance, and I'm not actually talking on that for a second, but there's a lot of different ways maps can be designed, and I'm excited because I've been working with AVEX on some. But again, I can't tell you which one than that. You know what would be fucked up? I would love to see a map that was like cut in half, like not not that it was two different tile sets, but that was like the bottom half was Orbital Shipyard and the top half was like Orena, and it's like this weird portal like separates the middle or something. Orbital Shipyard coming up.
Yes.
We got a resub coming in. Thank you so much to Ulian, 4 months on that resub. Fun name to say as well.
Boolean is like a boolean. Boolean cubes are useful.
Yeah, for pranking people. Put them in the shower, from what I see on those Reddit threads that I always save and never actually act on.
What do you do with that?
Like if you unscrew the head of the shower, like where you put the washer and stuff in, you put the boolean cube in there. So when the hot water goes through, it basically soups.
Oh wow, wow! Not heard of that.
Okay, Orbital Shipyard. It's a prank, bro. See you in a sec. All right, we do touchdown. Orbital Shipyard. Europeans are so cheesy, says Beastie. TAiLS just like, yeah, dot, 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 dot. All right, top right side of the map. It is going to be the orange Protoss. Down one at the moment. TAiLS.
Cheesy.
He's orange like cheese. It's cheesy.
In the bottom left, as the purple Terran, he is Beastyqt.
Do you remember those macaroni commercials that had like the dinosaur at like what looked like a water park, but everything was like orange and cheesy?
Hells yeah!
That always looked so fucking good to me.
It looked so delicious. You know what else looked really good though, but actually wasn't? Dinosaur egg oatmeal.
Right. I actually concur with this one, because the dinosaur eggs really didn't add much at all.
No, like, you add brown sugar to oatmeal and it actually makes it pretty good, but those were just like plain sugar or something. I just remember being so excited and then just so disappointed.
So I just want to clarify, I like macaroni and cheese. Even to the stuff you buy in the box, it's just like instant make type of thing. Obviously the best kind of macaroni and cheese is the type you bake, breadcrumbs, put some like spices in it, whatever. But those commercials, what always killed me was, it looked good and I never really understood why. And then one time I accidentally made macaroni with a little too much milk, and it came out really like almost cheese soupy. And it was so good. And I've never been able to properly replicate that.
I thought it was going to be gross, to be honest, because I've done the same mistake. I didn't really appreciate it.
Oh, if you put too much in, I can see. Mine was just like slightly. Like there was like a little puddle type thing, not like soup.
See, I really prefer just like straight up mac and cheese. I don't like when it's baked and added with like, you know, breadcrumbs and stuff, but that's how my mom loves it.
Oh, your mom she's got good taste. What happened to her daughter?
I don't know. My dad's a vegan, so something got mixed up.
The aspect of that I really enjoy is not the breadcrumbs or anything, but I like putting different cheeses layered in. And I'll usually do like white cheese on the bottom, so you get like the gooey sticky bit. Then I'll put the layer of like the what's it called? Jalapeno cheese, where it's like got the jalapeno peppers and stuff sliced into it, so it's like really got that spice to it. And I hate spice, but for some reason I like it in this. And then you put orange cheese on the top. It's like, oh, so good.
Wow. I don't make mac and cheese often enough because it is too many calories.
Yeah, I know. I used to, again, before I started trying to lose weight, it was pretty much like mac and cheese every day.
Yeah.
And I am not going to lie, I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Oh, God. I did have chicken and dumplings, and that was pretty delicious.
I was really happy to learn, by the way, when it comes to weight loss stuff, like that you're supposed to eat chicken, and that's supposed to be good for you because it's got protein, it's low calories, blah, blah, blah. But all these stories I kept reading was like people trying to make chicken delicious, and I'm like, yo, I just love chicken. Like it can be strips, it can be breaded, it can be unbreaded, it can be just plain. Like, so for me, that was nice. That's the one good thing I had going for me.
Yeah, some people think it tastes like really tasteless, so they need some help. But this game has not had much going on in it, but we finally have a little bit of a decision on at least build orders. TAiLS, not too surprising here. Rowboats by the Council, 3 gateways, probably going to expand to that 3rd base. Beastyqt held up on Stim for a while longer, despite having those 2 barracks up and ready to go pretty quickly, and is going to be going for Wood Mine drop first and foremost. And then we'll see what the macro game will look like and what type of style Beastyqt is playing in TvP right now. Because there's the Heart of the Swarm, like drop everywhere, just, you know, mass a bunch of bio and win. And there's also the very quickly to Liberator style, which is used a lot on Orbital.
It's disgusting in some instances. I do want to say that Reaper, though, thank God it waited to go so long in, because it did get to scout both the Twilight and the Robo. If it had gone in early and tried to get a couple of probes, it would have died before he had seen either of these very important tech buildings. So, kudos to Beastie on the scouting. The question really is, what does he do with it? Now, you referenced Liberators a moment ago, and I really do like Liberators when it comes to that late game stuff. But Beasty's been pretty adamant about earlier pushes. We're going to see one Liberator come in, and honestly, he's going for Widowmine drops too. I don't imagine this is going behind the mineral lines. I don't imagine he's going to harass. I would really like to see this paired up with a Marine push and just use it on the ramp or anything like that. Because this third base would be such an easy pick-off.
He actually is going to... Yeah, he's going to scout it. Yeah, you don't really want to feel, though, that you have a medevac prepared to drop, but the Observer's going to see it anyways. Still could boost in and try, but if Photon Overcharge goes off, there's just no hope for the Widowmine to burrow. No hope at all.
There's no hope for me right now, by the way. Now that we've talked about food so much, I'm just fucking hungry. Like, from chicken pot pies to macaroni and cheese, my tummy's just making sad noises right now.
My tummy is all rumbly. So you gotta have the snacks prepared, man. You got a banana next to you, and
nope. I'm actually not someone who. I'm someone who has to embrace the out of sight, out of mind. Like, if you put 3 bananas on the desk in front of me, I'm gonna eat those. I'm not gonna be able to save those for later.
Yeah, I can understand that. My mom actually yesterday had to drive my dad to the airport, so she bought donuts. Like the first time in forever. So those have just been lying on the table.
There's a Reddit thread last night actually about Canadians apparently eat the most donuts per capita and have the most donut shops or something.
Well, of course, like Tim Hortons.
Right, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, of course, we got Tim Hortons. What a stupid survey. It makes it sound like we're a bunch of like pig cop type stereotypes.
Before I went to Toronto the first time, and then all the other times I've gone, I did not know that Tim Hortons was a thing. So I can see why that's really surprising.
Now that you've been there, you're like, oh, it was on like every corner of every...
Yeah, it's like the Starbucks. This is not surprising.
Okay.
Donuts everywhere.
Attack is coming in. I thought the Liberator was going to be used to assist the main attack. It does sit at the back waiting to sneak in, but it did get picked off. Widowmines also get dropped, so Beasty loses both of his harassments in both the main and the natural. However, his main attack is so strong, it may not be an issue. But that big warp in from TAiLS is a lot of adepts. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Maybe we should have tried focusing on the pylon as opposed to the units, but either way, it was good damage. It sucks that his harassment didn't work out. Combat shields and +1s out to finish up. TAiLS actually going to go for a Dark Shrine, hoping to buy some more time and do a lot more damage as Beastyqt sends over his third. Not yet into an orbital, adds on production. It's really starting to ramp up in that just production overall, and has another drop off to the right.
Yeah, now both the harasses from earlier got kind of wrecked, but this drop should be pretty powerful and pretty potent. Dark Shrine, I wonder if you actually saw that with the Widowmines. No, that went down afterwards. So get a good idea if he goes back in soon. But, oh, Zombie, we've seen too many games, especially with Snoot yesterday, where DTs just ruin lives.
No, Jesus. They almost ruined his life. Anyway. Not quite. This might turn into a bit of a base trade. Looks like TAiLS is doing fine defensively, though. Oh, both Widowmines going to hit that. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Nicely done. The third base is also under attack, so that's where the rest of the probes are being killed. But, you know, TAiLS has a main army heading into the third base of Beastyqt, and he was not prepared for that. His units were out of position. They weren't even all bulked up. He's going to have to sacrifice his third.
Even if he gets, like, the most perfect Widowmine hits, that's not going to be enough. Liberator's going to try and get on that ramp. They need to get on that ramp. There's actually not that many Stalkers. He can manage this if the Liberators are pre-sieged. But they're not set up right now.
If only he get the War Prism, but he doesn't really have that many Marines. He would have done it with the Liberator or the Widowmines. He's going to try and wall off a little bit with his command center.
That's kind of clever. Does get the Warp Prism, though. That's pretty huge.
Nice.
Drops are still going off on the other side of the field, so there's a lot of micro in multiple places for both these players at the moment. That command center, I actually don't know if that's a proper wall off or not, but it will at least choke units out. Now, on this side of the map, looks like Marauders are still going strong, and the Warp Prism having died, all Warp Prisms can and should be used at home anyways, so picks up these medevacs, continuing to harass best he can. Now, it's worth noting, Beasty did lose a considerable amount of workers, but he kept the third alive, and his worker count is actually matching that of his opponent, so this isn't such a bad situation for him.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse for Beastyqt, to be honest, but he is the one that is doing better, I think.
Agreed.
Even though his army supply is a little bit farther down, he's got upgrades about to finish up. He still has the third CC, and Mules will definitely recover if given a minute or so. But that's where TAiLS is looking to he's looking to not let happen, basically. He's got an observer here. I'm surprised this okay, yeah, I just see it. There we go. So no more observer, but he could break Beastyqt on third base, not on the ramp, though. And that's where he needs to wait and hit. And that's how Beastyqt could potentially lose this game. So he's got to be seriously super careful pushing down this ramp to defend that.
I love everybody educating about Tim Hortons in chat right now. One thing a lot of non-Canadians aren't going to know about. Oh no, the Widowmines! Rip.
Oh, bad luck.
Not good at all. That was a That's a bad meta, frankly. I don't know why he thought he could get away with that, too. And Beastyqt being a real Bradbury right now, just kind of getting stuck up here in the main as he constantly gets caught out of position. Like, he's almost ready to go, almost ready to take a fight. These Widowmines are going to splash most of his army. Never mind Psych to hit the Stalkers, but the Warpins on the backside are going to guarantee this sandwich might be a little too much to deal with. GG taps out.
Beastyqt needed time to recover, and TAiLS knew it, too. So that was really nicely done by him to just keep on the aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. TAiLS ties up the series 1-1. And we'll see what map number 3 is. It is going to be Beasty's map choice. We're going to go to a small break while he figures it out, while we get things hosted, and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Zombie
Yeah?
why you link me this?
Why not? Remember
This
what
was,
we had in
Homestory Cup? Yeah. Okay, so you might want to link this to chat so people have some reference. Well, in a minute or two, because there's a stream delay. Hello. But there's this really weird Japanese pizza we got out at Homestory Cup when we were flown out to Germany. The backwards pants-wearing chef blew my mind with how delicious it was.
It was pretty delicious. I think it was... I don't know if it's a Japanese pizza. It is Japanese pizza, okay. Because some people say it's Japanese pancake.
Well,
and I don't know what
it's delicious. It's the only thing that matters is me. But
All
all right, folks. Game number 3. It's tied up 1-1 in the best of 5 grand finals. Spawning in the top right, it is going to be TAiLS.
In the bottom left, as the Teal Terran, he is Beastyqt.
Whoa! I just realized my brain here. We have a Protoss Mana in the finals of the Ting Open. We have a Protoss in the finals here for the G2A Monday Cup. If there's a Protoss in the finals of the Archon Mode tournament tomorrow, I think we're just going to have to nerf Protoss.
Yeah, probably. They almost won 3 tournaments. Better nerf them.
Even though they're underrepresented and all these other logical reasons. I do want to thank you guys for joining in, by the way. And, of course, if you guys are looking to buy games on G2A, remember to do it through our promo code and our reference link. So go to g2a.com/r/BaseTradeTV. And when checking out, use promo code BASE to get some cheap games for yourselves. It's also a good way to let them know that we sent you and that, again, any money we raise from today, we're going to match to create another G2A Cup in the future. So far, by the looks of things, we're only at about like $30, but that's fine. That's fine, whatever. But if we can get a hunter for another cup, I'd be very happy to do that.
That would be the best case.
Someone from Poland being our most recent purchase, buying 10 random Steam CD keys.
Hello.
Poland hype.
I don't know Polish.
Yeah, I actually don't even know a single word of it.
Yeah. I know that sometimes, like, we see the Polish pro gamers, like, talk to each other, and it's just... There's too many Z's, man. Z's and W's.
I just want to say, by the way, Polish players in general, just to completely generalize, are fantastic StarCraft 2 players. Like, and I'm not even saying that as, like... Again, was it like Dystar, Nurchio, Guru, Mana... Tefel. I'm just trying to think of like other ones off the top of my head. Like there's really good players that come from Poland.
Yeah, them and France, I suppose. 2 heavy hitters in Europe.
France is interesting though. It's not that there's a lot of French players that are good. There's like 2 really standout French players that are good, and they're really good.
I suppose, yeah. It just seems that they have a lot of the foreign hopes like get labeled on their players a lot at different times in StarCraft 2 history. But anyways, we actually have something interesting early on Dusk Towers. Yeah, but, of course, it's a cancel on a 3rd base.
The reason this is interesting though is this is not an all-in or a proxy version of it. This is BC just saying, you know what, I'm going across the map. It could be a little bit risky with my units early on, and a cancel on a 3rd is pretty nice.
It's very nice. Certainly not what TAiLS is expecting, and you can't really blame him. He's trying to get away with a pretty greedy 3rd base because, well, Beastyqt had gotten away with a pretty greedy 2nd base. But just a handful of units in a bunker or 2.
Now, I like this scan. He didn't have a Reaper from this opening, so he wanted to make sure to see what was going on in the main. Seeing the Robo go down is one thing. I do believe he saw some of the gateways, but not all the gateways. Yeah, so I didn't see these ones bulked up here, but seeing that Robo is a pretty big warning that there's going to be a Warp Prism, and it's something he's going to have to prepare for.
It's inevitable from Protoss. Now, TAiLS is probably just getting some extra gateways for production because his Nexus is going to be so late. He still wants to get it. He still has quite a few minerals to use, but finally deals with that bunker, actually gets salvaged. That's a little nice.
Well played. That money
Thank
game.
God it's not 100% too.
I know, otherwise that'd be really broken for Beasty. You could possibly put down a supply depot upon the salvage.
Yeah. Yep. And that the bunker timing too really helped out. 5 seconds instead of... I'm just kidding.
So, Nate started really advocating the supply depot timing recently. And at first, I thought it was a bit of a troll. But I didn't realize until, like, really looking into it, how big of a deal the supply depot timing really does to affect the rest of the game. Because, like, the faster you build your depot, the faster you get your barracks out, the faster you get a factory out, the faster you get everything else out. Which is, okay, kind of cool. But it does make me wonder, and we talked about this with David Kim expressly, there's a lot of small inconsistencies like that. Things like the refineries still having a stupid amount of health compared to like all other buildings, like literally almost double that of a refinery is the assimilator. And I'm starting to wonder like if they'll ever address or even look into it, or if they're just going to keep sweeping it under the rug and being like, hope nobody else notices. Like,
no one noticed. Yeah, I would really love to see Legacy of the Void with its current economic state and all its units and whatnot, but without any of the nerfs or buffs that have occurred since let's say after the first month of the Wings of Liberty launch. Because SCVs did have an absurd amount of health, so you can't have that back in there. But everything else, like the bunker timings, the stim timings, the warp gate timings, like, what would that all look like? Be one silly game.
Yeah. Apologies really quick, because everyone's starting to throw out all the Polish players I didn't name. I was just naming some as examples. I wasn't trying to list every Polish player in StarCraft 2.
Oh, damn.
This stim in, though, catches them off guard. 9 probes go down immediately. Stalkers have no chance to clean this up with what's available. Meanwhile, in the main, a Liberator's killing even more probes. It does get cleaned up, but the damage is certainly be dealt with. Beasty. Now, the problem is, if he loses this, he doesn't have a lot more behind it, but he's not going to lose this, especially with the medevacs coming to the front line.
Yeah, there's enough stalkers to take care of this, especially because they are stimmed already. And he actually takes down the medevac. That was really nice.
No!
Really nice blink forward there. So gets something, but he did lose a lot of stalkers and a lot of probes. Still losing some probes too, to I guess another Liberator in the natural. That was certainly worth the damage, and it was just so unexpected because it came before medevacs.
Oh man, if those medevacs had never actually just come to the front line, that would have been so much better for Beasty. But, you know, I did get to see Blink being finished. Not tearing down the third is not such a big deal. His third's a little bit later in comparison, and it's coming down. That will have to be lifted and moved over. But it is something where, yeah, the damage was good enough to keep him in the game with what he currently has. And he doesn't fall massively far behind, despite the blunder of losing those medevacs and everything inside of him.
I'd still put Beastyqt in a damn good position, actually. Like, this is going to be very tough for TAiLS to come back from, especially if Beastyqt is able to hit right before Resident Glaives. His Adepts will not be too useful. He has 30 more seconds before that is done, and only a handful of Stalkers. Those are going down so quickly to buy with medevacs.
A little bit interested in the fact that he's chosen to go for armor upgrades here, too, by the way. We've been seeing a lot more +1 invested into for weapons over armor. It used to be, as Protoss, you would just go +3 armor as quick as possible, no matter what you built would live, but not so much the case anymore. Not with the Adepts and stuff being so aggressive.
Those Adepts did not have Resonant Glaives, but the sheer number of them as tanking units was too scary, especially since Beastyqt was not all Marines. Bit of a blink blunder there. That could have been an opportunity for Beastyqt to actually unload, but he is defending at his own main right now and doesn't want to just risk having a micro this drop. The War Person did come in here as dealing some damage.
Whoa,
the Liberators helped clearing up. That's awesome camera control.
Yeah, nailed it. I don't know what happened. I panned over and it jumped like halfway across the screen. I think what happened is I may have panned over here by the minimap and like it clicked on the minimap or something. Or I have no idea. It
probably. Well, the Liberators clean up the War Prisms. That's a lot less to worry about. So now Beastyqt, whenever his next guy does occur, you can focus entirely on that. But that gave TAiLS the crucial time he needed. Is going to kill a couple SCVs too. Not as many as Beastyqt killed. So TAiLS still down in that economy. But at least the army started to look better, but then he just lost all of his Adepts, so we're back to square one.
We don't get to look at the economy game too often because of our graphs mod not always being available, but we look at this, and one of the big things for Beasty is not only was he winning the economy despite his later third, it's the fact that he's got mules on top of it. This attack's not going to go well for TAiLS. In fact, he doesn't even need the Liberators. The Marauders could just chase out. Yeah, that's everything.
That was very questionable, especially after he lost the Adepts to still push in like that. I guess he was committed.
Well, congratulations, Beasty. Takes a 2-1 lead now in the series, but it's worth noting not quite over yet, as it is a best of 5, not a best of 3. So TAiLS gets next map pick, and hopefully it won't take too long to do so. He's been kind of just a bit slow with picks today.
Mm-hmm. He has to really think hard about it.
Well, while he does that, again, just another shout out to our website, guys, because it is on our website where you're going to be able to best keep up to date with BaseTradeTV related things. We are still practicing and getting better, and we've missed some things here and there, but we are trying to make it the best experience possible. We've intentionally put no ads on the website. It is strictly just a tool to help you guys connect better with the channel. So do us a favor and go to BaseTrade.tv/calendar and bookmark it. That way you can always keep up to date with what's going on, when we're casting, what we're casting, etc. The other thing I want to reference and mention, because we haven't taken the time to talk about this much, our YouTube has gone under significant changes recently. Nice username has taken over the channel, so in order to make things a little bit better for you guys, because to be honest, the last thing I want to do after casting for 5 hours is sit down and go through the 5-hour VOD to cut up all the videos for it. So Joey's been doing a great job. I want to be fully transparent with this. The YouTube channel is entirely under, so like all ad revenue, all of that stuff's going straight to him. That's how we're going to pay him for it. And he has made new channel art for the banner art where he's just aesthetically looks better. And then on top of this, he's creating playlists for recent casts. He's trying this method where it's all-in-one VODs. So you're not seeing 3 different games posted, but instead like the best of 3 in one chunk. He's been a real boss about it. So, again, I hope you guys will check out our YouTube. It's youtube.com/mapcontrolco or youtube.com/BaseTradeTV, because he fixed the URL for it, too. He is a literal god.
Oh, and, nice.
Yeah, make sure to check out our YouTube. Our goal, I think, right now, we're doing pretty good on Twitch. I'm very happy with how we're doing on Twitch, to be honest with you all. I would like to grow our YouTube channel up a little bit. So, if you guys haven't already subscribed to it, consider checking it out. Again, we're going to be probably pushing that for the next little while. But TAiLS, pick a map, man. I don't want to, but we are going to go to a commercial break on account of the fact that TAiLS appears to have gone AFK. So, sorry to hit you guys up with it again. Game 4 when we return. We'll see you soon. But, anyways, self-martyring aside, the point of this is this cup wouldn't be possible without their money. They've been supporting us for almost a year at this point. We've only ever had good relations with them. And our goal with this isn't to convince you whether or not G2A are good people, but just to let you know that you can get games for cheap on their website and support BaseTradeTV in the process. So 2 good things. But anyways, game number 4 underway, spawning on the bottom right side of Prion Terraces. He is on his last life. Ladies and gentlemen, the orange Protoss TAiLS.
In the top left, as the green Terran, he is Beastyqt.
Okay, so I talked about the Adept all-in, and just to, again, follow up on that mention of it, Mana was doing this recently, as well as some of the other random Protoss we've been catching from time to time when they rarely show up in our events. And one of the things to note for this is that the Adept all-in, it's hard to deal with in most normal situations. But the reason it becomes really difficult on Prion is because you have so many more. The other aspect of this, too, is Blink still works out decently, because Stalkers are, admittedly, fairly expensive units, but can be used to greater effect when you've got things like those gold minerals. You need less workers to get the same income to get that army rocking and rolling. Unfortunately for Terran, they're already benefiting from the way the mineral economy works in Legacy of the Void, and extra Marines don't help in a lot of these situations.
Well, this is certainly not the way I thought this game was going to go. We have a 1-base build from Beastyqt and a 1-base build from TAiLS, which Beastyqt should be able to scout. Not so for TAiLS. TAiLS was blocked out, or would have been blocked out, by this wall-off from Beastyqt, but he never actually bothered scouting entirely. He just in the probe over to build the proxy pylon. And this is going to get real awkward.
So I like this. The bunker on the low ground guarantees at least pylons won't be placed down to do the warp prism. Or sorry, not the warp prism, the mothership core overcharge stuff. The thing about this, though, that that's not a wall. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Well, that's
regardless, regardless for a moment whether this is wall or not, what I like out of Beast is he went for a 1-base build on his end.
Yeah.
He's FMLing. Tear down Protoss with 1-base builds. Reality obviously gets the first mention of this because of his performance in the Ting Open Korean qualifiers. But even foreigners have been making pretty good use of these 1-base situations. The Oracle is going to come in and maybe catch BC, but there's going to be a Widow Mine. And as long as he doesn't... Oh, he's actually putting in the front line, so that's a bit awkward.
So Beastyqt should have seen that something was up and should be leaving the Widow Mine in a place. Yeah, okay, he bros it, so he should know. Now, the Oracle might not actually run over that Widow Mine because it's on the north side, but it probably will. It probably will just die straight up. And TAiLS getting a scout on the fact that it was a one-base build was not ideal for Beastyqt, that's true. But the Oracle would have seen a lack of a command center anyway, and, there's only so much you can change to accommodate for a one-base build. TAiLS was going to get a Nexus, he was going to get a Mothership Core, and he was going to get a unit, whether that was a Stalker or an Adept. The Widow Mine will take out that Oracle. Nicely done.
Yep. Removing the Oracle, of course, takes a lot of pressure off of you, so he is free to go across the map. Now, that's not necessarily something where BC is going to guarantee get a lot of damage on the other side of the map, but having taken out an Oracle, he knows that there wasn't going to be a lot invested back at home, and there hasn't been. It's a couple of Stalkers, the extra gateways are on the way now. Pylons need to be placed.
Yeah, the natural actually sending probes down there is quite questionable, because you didn't... Well, now he actually knows. He knew it was going to be a Widow Mine because, of course, the Oracle died to it. But even with that in mind, it's still much easier to defend only one base as opposed to trying to defend two. Doesn't even use the Widow Mine necessarily on the probes. I actually really liked that. It was almost a zone out, so the Marines could kill the probes. Gotta be careful with that medevac. Gotta be careful with the Stalker. Oh, well.
Good shot.
This is going to be reinforced by a Liberator and a tank push, potentially.
The Mothership Core has stayed in the main. I think he was anticipating something else coming that direction. Didn't know what it was for, but yeah, the Nexus he has to deal with. He's going to try and get the Widow Mine thanks to the Observer, but this actually puts the Stalkers in the danger of going down to the Marines. And the Marines are the true threat here. Now, the Overcharge should be able to stop the Liberator from getting too much. The Pylons are really nicely positioned from TAiLS. But as stated before, all the advantages on this map really go to Protoss being the aggressor, not Protoss being the defender. Back at home, another Oracle goes down.
Nicely done.
Okay, so a
couple of probes. I mean, Beastyqt, for having being scouted, has gotten more than most other Terrans would have expected, so you can't be too upset. And the fact that TAiLS' own proxy, his own one-base opener, didn't work is also pretty bad. Oh, if he loses the Nexus, that's not quite game over, but that is something that he should not have let happen. And he's going to micro. He's going to get it.
Yeah, even if you lose the medevac, kind of stay worth it. Marines can stutter on top of the Stalkers, get one more kill, not bad.
That was absolutely worth it. Now, Beastyqt, the only thing you would have to worry about is a counter, but he knows what the army looks like, and that's really not that scary. He has a wall off it with all depths. It's not blink. I think he got eyes on how fast the Twilight Council would have been put down, but there is no Twilight Council. So.
The follow-up to this, though, for Beastie, I mean, there's tanks, there's a lot of Marines. He's sitting at home, but he doesn't need to. TAiLS, on the other hand, does need to get going. Beastie could either meet him in the middle of the map, he could meet him at the top of this ramp, which is finally walled off, by the way. But either way, TAiLS has to get a lot of damage done, and Stalkers with Blink might not have been a bad option, but they're not with Blink. It's just Stalkers. There's no high ground vision, really. It's one Oracle, one Observer.
They're going to have that pseudo-blink from the Warp Prism, but the tank evac should be enough to blow this away. The Observer even gets sniped, so he doesn't know what he's going to be walking into. His Warp Prism could potentially be sniped before he can do anything. Proxy Pylon's going to go down. Stargate, the Stargate could have been useful. You get like one Phoenix, or hell, maybe you can afford a Void Ray. And I can see that helping your potential bust, but now definitely not an option. He's going to have to wait for an Immortal to walk across. There's the Warp Prism has already left the building. Left base.
But even then, these three Adepts, I feel like the potential to get enough damage here isn't really... He is catching BC while his production's kicking up. So there's not a lot here to actually produce and stop the Adepts. But the middle of the map actually holds these things in place. The SCV's getting not killed, actually. He's gone for a lot of the Marines first. So only one SCV died so far.
Yeah, really nice defense from Beastyqt, and he is definitely winning this game. TAiLS is kind of like, it's like he's thinking about getting a Nexus, but is not really going to. He's still investing in Immortals and warping into Depths, but he has a setup as if it looks like it's going to defend, and TAiLS actually just going to tap out.
Yeah, that Nexus was too hard to recover, and he didn't get the damage he needed to, so congratulations to Beastie. 3-1 is going to be the victor here in the tournament. and he will walk away today with money in his pocket. But TAiLS as well, second place, gets $20. It's not too bad, so congratulations to both. Again, this tournament made possible thanks to our connections with G2A. So guys, again, we'll check the tally at the end of the day, but from now until the end, till midnight pretty much, whatever we make from G2A, if we can make another tournament off of it, today's funds will go towards that directly. But again, we're just trying to get our sales up for the month. They're not looking so hot. I would love to see a few more, and maybe make G2A happy in the process. But that being said, we are done. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this show. There's a lot of good StarCraft coming up, but I do want to reference our StarCraft later tonight. Now, it's not going to be me and Zombie Grub. Hands in the air like this is me and Zombie Grub forcing ourselves off a little bit, as Fear Dragon will be back in about 5.5 hours-ish with a Chairs for Gaming Cup.
Sooner than that, I thought.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4.5.
4.5. Thank you.
There you go.
Sorry. I'll blame Daylight Savings, even though that was simple math.
Okay.
I'm terrible. But yes, thank you guys for enjoying the show. Please come back in a few hours and check out Fear Dragon. We really wanted to have the Chairs for Gaming Cups going. That's really cool and all, but I'm trying to get Fear Dragon some more just rooted place here on the channel. He doesn't get to cast as much as we'd like him to, or as much as he would like to. He does have a real job he attends in the regular hours of a working day, but you know, weekends he's free, evenings he's free, and we're trying to make this Chairs for Gaming Cup something he can do whenever he'd like, ideally. But for now, we have to work around his schedule. So thank you guys for joining us today. See you in a bit, but before we do go, got to give some love to our other sponsors. Yord, Chairs for Gaming, and Corsair all help make BaseTradeTV a thing. And I just want to point out, we did give away, from our sub-celebration day, I messaged everyone on Twitch who won a G2A code, their code. So it's about 6 people, each one code's worth between 5 and 25 euro. So make sure to check your inboxes if you won. The people who won the gear, I still have to contact, because I have to wait for Corsair to let us know. And hopefully, by the way, we should have the contract from Corsair today. Ideally too, because I'm very excited to continue working with them as we go here with the Corsair Cups starting up just this next weekend, actually. But yeah, I guess without further ado, Zombie Grub, if people enjoyed your casting, they want to see you stream Tomb Raider or other things, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at CG Gaming and on Twitch, Zombie Grub.
And of course, if you guys could do me a great favor, I don't care so much about my Twitter. I would love if you would follow the channel. Consider subscribing, but also check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. We are really going to try and build this up. We're going to work with Joe, aka Nice Username, to make it the best channel possible, so please do check it out. But that does end the stream today. So I know that I personally am going to be back a little bit later on my own channel, twitch.tv/riff_king, with some Stardew, but shy of that, we are done for the evening. And tomorrow, we got the Archon Mode Cup. So we're going to see some Archon Mode games. We haven't cast Archon Mode in a while, because we'll come back to check that out. And then last but not least, the Ting Finals are on Wednesday. Make sure to come back for that. Best of 9 between Mana and Rogue. And then the best of 3 between me and the sponsor, Jesse, with Zombie up coaching him on the side. We'll see how that goes. But last but not least, just check out our website, guys. BaseTrade.tv. Bookmark it, check the calendar, make sure you know about all the events we're casting in the future. It is worth noting that while Team Liquid can be a little bit confusing to some because they do cover all aspects of StarCraft 2 with their schedule, we cover only our events on our website, so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. But have a good one, have a good night. Zombie Up, I'll catch you a little bit later, and have a good day, everybody.
Bye. Bye.